Hi there, welcome to my channel where I interpret the cards to provide insight into your life. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. In this reading, we're going to find out what is it that people appreciate most about you. Okay, I just want to shuffle one more time and then we will get into the message. Okay, what is it that people admire most about you? Okay, so we have the Lovers card and we have the Six of Wands. I feel like you're very optimistic. I feel like you tend to focus on the future. And you have a big heart as well. I feel like you're very compassionate. Let's see, what are we getting here? What do people appreciate about you most? I feel like the way that you see the world is through eyes of a loving person. I mean, you are a loving person, and that's how you see the world. And people really appreciate this about you because the world can be tough, as we know. It can be difficult. Just living day to day, you experience so much chaoticness just from people all around you, stressful people and people who have negative outlooks on life, negative mindsets, people who are toxic, things like that, right? And the way that you look at the world is through almost you look at the world through the eyes of almost like a child, like how a child is optimistic, a child is loving and has unconditional love for everyone. And when you look towards the future, it's full of hope, it's full of love, it's full of optimism, and people really appreciate that about you because it gives them permission to do the same. It helps them it basically reminds them that the world is not all bad, Like, even though other people will point out things to be afraid of in the world, you point out things that are of love, Like, you may be spiritual, you may be religious, or you may practice like your spirituality or your religion regularly, and that keeps your heart it keeps like your energy cleansed, it keeps your body cleansed, your aura cleansed, it keeps your mind free of negativity. I feel like you're someone who, like, you're open-minded, you're non-judgmental, you're compassionate, and people really appreciate that about you because you're like a breath of fresh air to a lot of people. What else do people really appreciate about you? Six of Swords. This card tells me that you don't get attached to things too easily, or you just don't get too attached, and you're able to move on from things. Like, you know when to move on from something. You tend to let things go. I feel like you don't hold a grudge, and people really appreciate that about you because it makes them feel like you're very understanding. They feel supported, and it helps people to love themselves a little bit more because, like, say someone makes a mistake and you let it go, you don't hold a grudge, and they appreciate that about you because, how do I say, like, they know they've made a mistake, they feel guilty about it, they feel awful about it, and for you to let it go, it helps them to see that, I don't know, they just feel really appreciative of it and grateful that you have such a kind, loving heart. What else do people really appreciate about you? Two of Swords. I feel like feel like you're a leader. You're decisive about things. You're not wishy-washy. People can trust you. I feel like you're trustworthy as well. I also feel like you are a very authentic person. And so people feel like they can trust you. They like to be around you because you're authentic, you know? Like they can trust your word. They can trust what you say. So it seems like you just have a wonderful personality. Like you have a big heart, you're compassionate, you are forgiving, you are like you can lead people, you're a leader. I don't know. With the Two of Swords, it just feels like people who don't know how to lead, people who don't know how to make decisions, like they appreciate you being able to make decisions for them. Like maybe if you have children, or maybe if you know people who, or if you associate with people who aren't as independent, they appreciate your independence. Like they feel like you take care of them. King of Swords. Yeah, you're super intelligent. Like you always know what you're doing. You know how to handle any situation, anything that comes your way. You know how to handle it. And I feel like that energy comes from, or how do I say, like, the people who admire or appreciate this most about you would be like your people who you work with, like your boss, even your coworkers. Like they appreciate the fact that you know how to handle yourself. You know how to um, take control of situations, and you do it with such ease and diplomacy, and you're very tactful as well. Like you know how to handle yourself. I feel like you know how to handle different personalities as well. I feel like people really appreciate, I feel like you are a free spirited person. Like you're very free. Freedom and independence may be very important for you, and people really appreciate that because like I said, like it gives them permission to have that for themselves. Like things you say, they follow your lead. Things you do, they follow your lead, just because they see this power come from you. They see this power in you and they want it for themselves. So it's like what you do, you give them permission to do the same. Eight of Swords reverse and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I feel like you're very easygoing. You tend to take your time with things. You don't rush through things. And I think that's how you make such great decisions. You don't rush people, and people really feel they appreciate that about you. Especially, for example, like at work, maybe like if you're training someone, you don't rush them, and they really appreciate your gentleness. They appreciate your like kindness. Let's see. With the Ace of Pentacles, it's reversed. Another thing I feel like this card is pointing out is that you have like, your worth ethic. I feel like you're a very hardworking person. You're very humble. And they appreciate it. They appreciate this about you. Like, I feel like you're such a great person. You're so amazing. And I just feel like when they see you working hard, they appreciate it. They appreciate it because they feel like say for example, let's think of like a celebrity's child, right? Like typically you would imagine them just, lazy. Well, I don't know, not necessarily lazy, but normal people may see them as like they don't do any work, because their family or their parents have a lot of money. Their parents are wealthy, so they don't have to do anything. But like when you see them actually out there doing the work and doing the hard work, it's just something that you can appreciate. And it's like, wow, if they're doing the work, I feel inspired to do the work as well. Like you inspire people through your character, through your work ethic, you know? The Emperor, like I said, you are a leader. You inspire people, you motivate people. Just you by yourself, like just you, your presence alone inspires people. Ten of Cups. You're a very loving person. You're full of joy, full of peace, and they really appreciate your energy because when you bring your energy to them, they feel this energy. They can feel it for themselves. They feel the joy. They feel happy. They feel the peace when you're around. So they really appreciate your energy. Okay, one more card. What do people appreciate most about you? Let's go with this one. Eight of Cups. This card tells me that you're not clingy. Like I feel like I said, you're very independent. You know when it's your time to walk away from something or move on from something. You don't make people feel trapped. You don't make people feel uncomfortable. You don't make people feel like you're invading their space at all. Like you give people the space to be themselves. And like I said, I think I said like you're non-judgmental, you are open-minded, I think I may have mentioned you're free-spirited. And people just really appreciate this about you because it's like a breath of fresh air, like I said. Yeah, and you're like really cool, calm, and collected. Just like how this Emperor is relaxed here. You're playful, like these children, loving, full of love, full of independence, full of courage. And you really inspire people. You give them permission to be themselves, just like you're being yourself. So that's your reading for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If so, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you again next time. So until then, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.